Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast. We're here to unfortunately discuss yesterday's Derby Day defeat, but more so the aftermath of that horrendous performance, what the likes of Eddie Howe, Captain Bruno has been saying since then, and what you think in the comments. Plenty of comments in already tonight, so let me know how you are feeling. You can hear us okay as we are now using the fresh new equipment that we acquired last week. So second week as we continue to try and improve this show for you every single episode. So hope you can hear us good, see us good. You know, having as good of a start to a Monday as you can, Keg, after that terrible, awful performance yesterday.
Yeah, it's not been a very good Monday, to be honest with you. I took it off work. I mean, it could have been worse. I could have been at work, but yeah, I mean, it's a little bit shit. Because I was also up until midnight this morning watching the Panthers get beaten in a rivalry game as well.
No way.
So 2 for 2.
That one you said they had to win as well.
Had to win to get to the playoffs, yep. And they lost to a 3-win team. So I dead good day yesterday was. Fucking raging. I mean, foaming the day. Just going around, had a day off, been trying to be busy pre-Christmas, getting shit done. I've just been absolutely fucking foaming. Like, it's been a horrible day. And I'm tired because I was up late for no reason.
Didn't pay off that one.
No positives at all to come from the last 48 hours.
No, there really hasn't been. I mean, I started the Jerry and Sewell rehearsals today, what we're doing in the West End next month. And, you know, it was a bit of a funny atmosphere, really, when we met this morning. You know, the actors and everything in the theatre, because we're just, like, trying to be up for and excited for the show. But then at the same time, we're rather miserable after Monday's start to the week following the just awful performance yesterday, man. I mean, it really was so bad. And I can see a lot of frustration in all the comments, a few shouts for Eddie Howe and stuff to be sacked. There was loads of them last night on social media. Everyone very emotional, very involved after that humiliating defeat. You know, it was humiliating. It might not be in sense of a scoreline. It only took an own goal for them to get the win, but in terms of our performance, and I've said this to people who are bumping into the day around town and stuff, where they've asked me about the game, we've been talking about it, and I've said, listen, you could not take it and not mind it, but understand it, getting beat off a Sunderland team this season who, you know, are having a good season. You know, they gave Liverpool and Arsenal a really good game. They've beaten Chelsea away. It's just the manner of the defeat.
Yeah,
it's the way that we were completely spineless and effortless in the Stadium Light yesterday. It was just really, really bad viewing where it was just completely unacceptable. Like I say, if Newcastle had a few chances and their keeper made some saves and they scored a worldie or whatever, then you kind of have to hold your hands up. But you cannot hold your hands up for how appalling that was yesterday, man.
Yeah. Like Sunderland have had a really good season. Like, trying obviously not to suck them off too much, but like, obviously that rivalry aside, they're a team that's just come up from the Championship, and it's kind of good to see a team like that do well, because like the last few teams over the past few years that's come up from the Championship have just been absolutely terrible and gone straight back down. So it's good to see someone come with a bit of fight, and it's just a shame that team for us is Sunderland. But yeah, they have had a really good season. Credit to them for where they are in the league, and like you say, the results that they've had in the past against some of the top teams in the league. They've been a really well put together outfit. I think the manager has had them playing some really good football. They've been a really compact unit, and yeah, they've worked hard and the results that they have. But they were shit yesterday. Like, they really offered nothing.
Yeah, they were.
And that's the worst thing about it. That we're like, yeah, we've lost it, but it took us to put the ball in the back of the net for them. Like, they didn't really have a clear-cut chance that I can remember. I can't remember Ramsdale making too many saves. Maybe it's one late on.
I obviously.
Yeah, but yeah, that was not really. It was just a shit game.
Yeah.
Like, and for a derby, like there was a bit of physicality, and that's what we like to see. Like, we were saying that kind of like the feistiness of the derbies kind of being like drawn out of most derbies when you look around the country, like even like the Old Firm and like things like that. Some of the other derbies around the country, like they're not like they used to be, like the Old Firm in the 90s. Like, it wasn't a good offender, so it was like 3 red cards. Like nowadays, you might get one, you might get a few like hard tackles going in, but yeah, like derbies just aren't the way that they were. So it was feisty a little bit. It was a bit physical, which was kind of good to see some tough tackles going in from both ends, even when Sunderland were getting stuck in. I was thinking, that's what you want. I'm not mad at that.
No.
Like, that's what I want to see from a derby. Both teams getting right stuck in.
I was mad at us not copying.
Yeah, there just wasn't really a lot in it for us, really. And yeah, like I said, the quality was bad from both teams. Like, yeah, we were bad and we can piss on that we lost. But yes, that is the hardest pill for me to swallow, that they weren't good. Like, we didn't lose. Like, say, like, you can take it on the chin if you've gotten beat by a better team. If they've played really well, scored a good goal, even if we put ourselves together, I got a couple of chances and stuff, but that was nothing. It was a shit game from both teams. And for it being a derby, even from Sunderland's end, like, they'll not give a shit because they won. But both teams should be embarrassed. Like, and especially us as the losers, we've just got to think, what the fuck were we doing, man? Like, it's a derby. And let alone, like, the recent form, like, away from home, we've been terrible. And we know that. We got a good win a couple of weeks ago against Everton. Thought that was going to be the kick on. We lost in a bit of a bad way against Marseille. Started all right, got a 1-0 lead. Second half, terrible.
Through, yeah.
Yeah, and couldn't hold on against Leverkusen. Could have gotten a win there, didn't. Like, we just throwing so many away games away. And I thought, like, Everton was going to be the kick on, but it wasn't. And just being down the road, like, half an hour bus journey down to the Stadium of Light, like, it should have had so much more fight. Like, should have been more prepared for everything. And you can kind of look at it like, yes, it's a derby and that is important. You need to beat your rivals, yes. But also, that was an opportunity for us to go maybe it's about 6th in the league. Like, we would have leapfrogged them, and they've been banging on about, oh, we're above Newcastle, our team's better because we're here, we've got this many points, we've scored this many goals, we've conceded this many goals, blah blah blah. But yeah, like, we could, that was an opportunity for us to go ahead, and then from where about like 12th or whatever we were, like, we could have gone up so many places kind of into that European spot, and then everything would have been hunky-dory. Like, we would have been sat here today doing absolute backflips if we were like 6th in the league, we'd beaten Sunderland. It's just completely flipped. And like, yeah, like, I just don't think we were prepared. We weren't ready for it, which is embarrassing for any Premier League game, let alone a derby, the first one in 9 years. Just embarrassing from everybody involved.
It was embarrassing. I mean, from the start, before we get into the Eddie Howe stuff, and that's been coming out from various reports now, it started in the I paper about his job being safe. So a lot of people have been venting their frustrations and talking about Eddie Howe potentially taking Newcastle as far as he can. That was a lot of the comments on my YouTube video yesterday. A lot of the opinions across social media. But before we do that, we may as well continue the theme of running through that game yesterday and starting off with Eddie Howe's decision, which massively didn't pay off. The gamble to start Anthony Elanga, a player that has been terrible since signing for Newcastle. Hasn't showed anything really, apart from maybe the odd flash here and there. One assist in 23 appearances for £55 million. I was saying in the pub yesterday, we may as well have kept Almiron. May as well have kept Miggy. He was better than bloody Elanga at this point.
The MLS season's finished now. Get him in on loan.
Bring Miggy back in the season. Hey, my dear, that's how bad it is. You know, he went for Elanga. He went for a 4-5-1, really, especially out of possession. That's what we were playing in the hope of catching Sunderland in behind with the space. And there was moments of that happening. Most where Voltamana found himself on the right, and then Gordon was
got involved. Well.
Gordon was bombing down the middle, couldn't get the pass across. Tino the same, poor ball. So yes, Eddie Howe took a lot of the blame, and I am blaming him for the lineup, and I am ultimately blaming him for the defeat. But also, the players have to stand up and be counted. And the likes of Bruno Guimaraes just spoke last night and just an hour ago on the Derby Day defeat. But those players did let him down yesterday. I think, you know, when Elanga gets given a chance, when Gordon gets the faith put in him again, which, you know, a lot of people criticise Eddie Howe for his loyalty to players, where you've got Harvey Barnes who comes in and scores and does well and gets you goals. And then he seems to be the first one to get dropped yet as soon as Gordon's fit with his headband on. You know, Eddie Howe wants to play him. Gordon hasn't had an assist in the Premier League since January. We're in December. Nearly a year without an assist in the league is an absolute disgrace, man. And, you know,
he's been banging penalties in, though.
His penalties are what's saving him, innit? Absolute penalty merchant.
He's in really good form, man. He got 3 goals in his, like 4 goals maybe in his last 5 games or something. I bet that have been pens.
I thought when I was there against Leverkusen during the week, he had a really poor first half. He said that Eddie Howe gave them a kick up the arse during the break, and then second half he came out and it looked like the Gordon that we all know is capable of producing those runs, those take-ons against the defender, the pacing behind, the skill, the cross for Mighty's goal. him getting a penalty.
Yeah.
You know, turn things around. Second half. Didn't turn things around second half yesterday. The wingers have been disastrous this season for Newcastle, apart from Barnes here and there, really. And Murphy hasn't been able to produce what he could last year, which was, you know, them numbers were insane. But he hasn't been really given a chance. You know, at the start of the season, he was dropped for a Alanga. He's been in and out. And yesterday was surely the game to start Jacob Murphy. The one who gets it knows it. You know, he's got Geordie in his blood.
Yeah, he's a Geordie. Yeah, he's a June fan.
He risked it on Alanga and it massively backfired.
Yeah. I was quite surprised when I seen the lineup, to be honest with you. Like Alanga. Yeah, just counting on him for his speed. Aye. But most of the times this season, I've seen him like drop short. Like he doesn't really use that burst of speed that we've seen him have at Forest.
Hasn't got the confidence now, has he?
For Forest, sometimes you'd see him on a counter attack, like after a corner or something, just absolutely blazing through the middle. I think he scored a goal against Man United, was it last season? Where he ran pretty much from like his own box and ended up finishing it off. That's just nothing really to his game. If he's not using his blister and speed, he's not doing out else. He cannot cross, he cannot shoot. He's often in the wrong positions. He's coming short when he should. Maybe he's like run into a channel and give someone an opportunity to knock it on and get for him to run on to. But instead he's coming short and not really, he's not utilizing his strengths. So yeah, I just don't really get him at all. But yeah, starting, I think you got to go at form. And even the other day we started Barnes on the right. Like, I wouldn't have even minded seeing that. Like slightly out of position. I mean, I think him and Gordon can both play on the right-hand side. But yeah, ideally, you probably would have preferred Murphy, who has produced. Like, he's crossing and he's scored goals. He's just whipping balls into the box. And that's what you want. I think first half, like we were slagging off the wingers, saying Gordon and Alanga's done absolutely nout. Then made the changes. Then straight away, Murphy and Barnes were sticking balls into the box. Didn't really come to much, but the point is the balls were getting into it, and that's what we needed when you've got like a 6'7" striker. Get the bastard ball into the bloody box, man.
Works alright for Germany, doesn't it? People are still in the, you know, some journalists and stuff still like slave Morris. Yes, he was poor yesterday, as everyone was, but he doesn't get service at all. And the same thing happened when Whistler came on. You know, Whistler banged the goals in for Brentford. He didn't get any service yesterday.
No, having to come deep to get involved.
The one thing that did come close is what you've just said there, when Murphy whipped one in, and Whistler's, you know, toes were a couple of centimetres away from it.
Good ball, yeah.
That was the only thing. That's
painfully close. Yeah.
Only hope that we had.
Yeah.
Being 1-0 down for pretty much a full half of football, and you don't test the keeper, man, in a derby as well.
Shocking, man.
Unacceptable, man.
It really is, yeah. Weren't even like I say, like not even testing the keeper, like not even shooting. I think the best chance of the game was Bruno's from the edge of the box, about 20 yards out, but didn't really test him too much. It was a relatively comfortable save, but that was the only really on-target shot that I can think of. The only one that kind of got me excited, apart from ones that kind of fizzed by. Like we saw not getting his toe on the end of the good cross. That was just nothing. Just really, really void game. Nothing in attack. Like that's the more embarrassing thing. Like you've got to go and attack teams, man. Like I know, like we're kind of waiting, kind of like rope and open them, like waiting for them to counter, like letting them have all the possession, and hoping that we would get the ball back, use the pace. But yeah, it was just a void tactic. It didn't work. The personnel wasn't really right. I think Miley deserved his start. Didn't really get involved in the game too much. I think, yeah, starting at 11 would include Joe Linton typically. I know his form hasn't really been very good recently, and Miley's been playing really, really well. So I don't think anyone was surprised to see Miley play. But I just think maybe Joe Linton's physicality might have been a little bit of a difference in the middle as well.
You do miss that kind of battler in the middle of the park in a derby. I thought Miley did okay. I think the midfielder that really has to be talked about now is Sandro Tonali. Because I don't know what's happened to that bloke. You know, he was an Italian stallion. I think the horse was fucked off. He's just down there on his own, scratching his balls, because I cannot see what's happened to the player. He just looks totally out of it, uninterested. There's moments yesterday when he picks up the ball and he's looking for a forward pass, but he just doesn't make it anymore. He doesn't try and make anything happen. He's not getting about the pitch as much. It just looks like he's not trying as much. I don't know what's happened there at all with the likes of Tonali. I don't know if it's because the team itself is struggling, but you look there, that midfield was just completely outclassed and outfought yesterday. Yeah. Like the whole team, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Bruno had tried. At least I'm not going to say he had a good game, but he was trying to make things happen. Had a nice couple of little passes in the middle of the park. He was getting himself about. I think Lewis Hall had a really good game. I think he was probably our best player. I think Hall and Bruno, at least Bruno tried. And I think Tonali was getting himself into some good places. But apart from maybe them three, I just don't really think there's anyone that can really hold the head up high.
Livermento had his worst game for Newcastle yesterday. You know, the amount of times he gave the ball away, like 6-7 times in dangerous areas. He was out of position a lot. I thought he had an absolute stinker, to be honest with you, as well.
He looked like he was given an effort in the first half. Like, so I'll give him credit for like trying to link up with Alanga, but like it was Alanga that was keep losing the ball every time he tried to pass it. It was just stray balls.
I think he just, you know, he really needs a lift. He really needs a confidence booster. I just think that game was the complete wrong time, wrong occasion, wrong everything to put him in there. I think Fulham is a chance you give him, and that's a quarter final. But Fulham at home, that's when you start Alanga. Yesterday's when you start Murphy, and you'll probably do it the wrong way around. I think Murphy on Wednesday will probably get the.
He always tries to give him a go in the Champions League, thinking his pace will work in the Champions League, but doesn't.
No, the only game he's looked at against was USG, and that's because it's USG. You know, we battered them, and they were one of the worst sides you'll see in the Champions League. You know, one of the worst I've ever seen, anyway. So, it's a worry with the wingers. It's a worry with all of the signings so far. To be honest with you, apart from Baltimore and Chow, Baltimore still needs to adapt, and we need to adapt to him for sure. But Mike Chow has been brilliant. Apart from that, though, spending 100 million on Ramsey and Alanga looks like shocking business.
Terrible business. Yeah,
I mean, really I was going to throw 50 million in there for Whistler as well, but we've got to give him time. He's been injured. That's just bad luck that he's been out for that long, really. So we can't judge him yet since he's only played about 10 minutes for Newcastle, really. Well, longer than that. What was a half an hour the other day, about a minute during the week against Leverkusen, and then 15 minutes against Burnley. So, yeah, before he starts getting a few starts himself and getting a chance, I'm not going to judge Johan Whistler yet, because I think it is a good signing. It should be. He's Premier League proven. But Ramsey, Keg, for £43 million, Jacob Ramsey, and Joe Willock's getting on ahead of him again, consistently. Joe Willock is the choice now off the bench ahead of Jacob Ramsey. You know, it's been ahead of Miley Suttons, it's been ahead of Joe Linton now as well yesterday. So what is going on with Ramsey there? I mean, he mustn't be showing enough in training, surely, because Eddie Howe wanted him. Eddie Howe signed him, 40-odd million. You're not playing him.
Yeah, no, he's just not really showing anything. Like, I can't really think of a specific game where I thought he had a really good game. In fact, I think his best game was away to Leeds before he got injured. But that was only before the first half. I think he went off at halftime. Maybe he got injured right before halftime. I think he was all right in the first half, but then that was it. Maybe that injuries had like a bit of a mental effect on him or something like that, or maybe he's still carrying the injury. Maybe he's still not fully recovered. I don't know, but yeah, he's just offered absolutely nout. I think it was a bit of an overpriced signing at the time. Like, I think he's a good player, and he's shown a lot of good quality for Aston Villa over the years. But yeah, I do think it was slightly over. I mean, not slightly. I think it was quite overpriced, to be honest with you. But I thought he'd be a good squad signing. You could argue that it's probably too expensive for a squad signing, like unless he's really going to push on and like when it, like Joe Linton or one of the other players goes out, like maybe he can step in, because maybe you think like Miley's maybe is a bit too young, and Willock hasn't really played well a lot over the past year or two, maybe even maybe it's longer. Some of Willock's performances recently haven't been too bad. I think I've seen a little bit of an increase in his performances. They still haven't been great, but they had been terrible, really, really bad. So he's playing a little bit better now. So maybe there's a little bit more competition there, because Miley's playing really well. Like, you've got to forget about his age. Like, don't even worry about his age. He's a class player when he's on his day. Like, I don't think yesterday was his day. But yeah, Ramsey just hasn't offered anything. And now that there is a little bit of competition, like if you've got your Bruno, Tonali, Joe Linton on starting, Willock's performances are increasing. I think Miley's probably the best midfield option outside of the starting three. So now, what was he, 43 million?
43 million.
Like, now he's kind of getting bottom of the barrel at the minute, really. Like, if you kind of rank them in terms of squad depth, like he's got to be last. 43
million for what, a sixth choice midfielder?
Sixth choice midfielder.
Right, brilliant that. Like, I mean, that's where it'll come back to how and what we'll talk about in a minute. You know, like, putting money on him, you got your man, and then you're not playing him. So, what's all that about?
You got to remember, Alanga was our first choice. He was our main target this summer, because we tried to get him last year. We knew we needed a right winger, especially after last year. We tried to get him and then sold Miggy in January. And then we just ended the season with just Jacob Murphy. Like, he was the only right winger option that we had. That's why Barnes played some games there. But yeah, so we really, really need a right winger. It was our first signing. We're adamant. Had some bids rejected, but we went in. So it tells you he was our number one target. #1 target, done everything we could to get him, and we got him. On paper, that's great. But now you're thinking, why? Like, we're not using him right, or he's just not fit for our system.
I think it was right up there with Brian, and Bruno was a player I wanted as well. He said he got approached by Newcastle, and you look at him now, what a difference he would have made if it was in Bruno. You know, he's been one of the bright lights for Man U, the goals he gets and the way he gets involved. But we've got Alanga, and I don't know. I honestly don't know where to go with him, because he just looks absolutely hopeless at the minute. Like,
he really does. Like, he was so frustrating us watching it in the pub yesterday. Like, every straight pass, and that was a lot of them. Like, everyone was screaming at the telly. Everyone was going mental. Like, he's just really frustrating. Like, he just doesn't do anything well. His best qualities, his pace, and he doesn't even really use it. I haven't really seen him like get into like that burst. I haven't really seen him like get into like third gear. Like, he's just kind of cruising up and down the wing, like linking up with a fullback, linking up with centre mids or whatever, getting like Voldemort to drift out wide and linking short passes. That's all it is, just short passes and just trying to like walk it in. Like, that's one of the frustrating things. I think yesterday as well, like I said, we didn't really try many shots. Like, we're just trying to walk it in, tap it in, tap a little tappy. Like, fucking shoot, man. Or whip it in, and we weren't doing neither. We weren't crossing, we weren't shooting, we were doing absolutely nout, apart from giving it away.
Giving it away all the time.
Yeah, trying to get the short passes, but then just getting intercepted, or just absolute terrible straight passes. That was just not really anything good at all I've seen yesterday.
I think Alanga needs to just get back to running, man, because like, I get the confidence thing. He's low at the minute. He's not going to have that belief to take a shot on or whatever, but you've got to be told just to run, just use that pace, use that acceleration, try get beyond your man, try beat your man, not just check back, not try look for a pass, literally just try that, and it's just not working out at all. And
I can't remember which game it was now. In the I think it was in the cup I was at earlier in the season. Didn't know if it was Tottenham or something like that, but I was in the east stand, and where I was like kind of like right up close to the touchline. And he was on my side. He was on the right wing. And loads of times, I think it was Kraft. Kraft started that game, so it was definitely a cup game. And like that was just wide open channels, like right over the top of the defense. Massive wide open channel. I think all it would have took is Kraft just to loft it into the channel, like I say, knock it on for him, because he's got the pace. He'll burn anyone off. Just knock it along for him. Get him to run onto it. And then he's pretty much through. It's a choice of really either cutting in and shooting, or waiting for someone to cross it into. But he was just keep coming short. He was just wanting like the short pass all the time. And I'm like, mate, if you turn around and look, there's a massive wide open channel there with your pace. If Kraft just smashes it along for you, you're in there. But he's got any interest in running. It's literally the one thing that you're good at and not doing it.
That's so weird why he won't just get on his bike and go. Like, people are saying in the chat as well, like, oh, we bought the Man United Alanga, and I'd rather have Obertan back. Like, I mean, with Alanga, like he was brilliant for Forest, wasn't he? Especially, the numbers he was putting on the board were class. I mean, again, it was just the market in the summer and stuff as well. But we did overpay for Ramsey, we did overpay for Alanga, but that 50-odd million was kind of the going rate for a right winger.
It was just the market, really. It wasn't really anything.
But that price for that much money for him now, and again, he's not a starter. I think for spending that much money on Ramsey and Alanga, 100 million. You want both of those players to come into your lineup and make a difference. Not just squad, lineup.
Or at least pushing to start. Yeah, giving someone like something to think about. Like, Alanga is on paper our starting right winger, because you think technically he's got to be a better player than Jacob Murphy, who's 30 years old. He's been at the club for like 10 years or whatever. Like, Alanga, he's young. He has played really well in the Premier League. Like, he's a shiny international. So, yeah, like on paper, he's a bit of a sexier starter than what Jacob Murphy is. Jacob Ramsey doesn't get in the squad, or the starting 11 at least anyway. Like, he could push, but for me, he doesn't get ahead of Bruno, Tonali, or Joe Linton.
No.
And like I say, now, Miley's playing better than him, and even Willock's performances have increased as well. So, yeah, Jacob Ramsey gets absolutely nowhere near. Like I say, on paper, it should be Alanga on the right wing, but Murphy's outperforming him.
I'd have Murphy and Barnes ahead of him.
And Barnes, yeah.
So he's third choice. Got a super chat here from Ulfa, the Icelandic Geordie.
Ooh.
And he sent 1,500. Oh, I wish that was pounds. ISK, but thanks anyways. Appreciate that one. I like Eddie Howe for all he's done for us through the years. Football is what you've done for me lately. Starting to think he's a too good team, and I'm starting to doubt he can take us further. I think that takes us on nicely to the next topic and the title of the podcast. In that Howe's position is safe despite embarrassing Derby Day defeat, because just like the Icelandic Geordie there, a lot of people are saying that they're starting to doubt whether Eddie Howe is the man to take us further, to take us to the next level. Has he reached his ceiling? Well, in the iPaper day, it's now across various newspapers and media outlets that despite the embarrassing, humiliating defeat of Sunderland, senior sources at Newcastle United are stressing a need for unity and ruling out knee-jerk decisions. They're not going to panic on Eddie Howe, and he does retain the total confidence and support of the ownership. So the owners are fully backing Eddie Howe, and they aren't going to be making any knee-jerk decision on him at the minute, with a look towards January with new sporting director Ross Wilson and CEO David Hopkinson. Thoughts on that one, Keg?
I think for now I've got to agree. Like, I just think it's a bit premature. Like, I know, like, you're very right in what you're saying there, that football is a very what have you done for me lately sport. Like, I think it's very result dependent. I think people forget about things previously, as long as it's kind of in the current. One loss can be enough for people to absolutely lose their heads. Doesn't matter what happened in the 10 or 20 games prior. Like, it is just kind of very game by game, result by result kind of thing. Like, and that's how people react off of. But yeah, like, for me, I think Eddie Howe's bought time. I think 2 Champions League qualifications, 2 cup finals, 1 win, my first trophy in 70 years, I think has bought him a bit of loyalty, bought himself a little bit of time. So for that, I agree that I just don't think now is the right time to get rid of him. My thing is, a couple of things is, who would you replace him with? Like, and what would really be the point be? Like, if you had like a crystal ball, if you went down 2 paths, one is keep Eddie Howe and the other is sack him, get someone else in a year down the line, who would be in a better position? Who would have the club in a better way? Because Howe's been here for just over 4 years now, and this must be maybe the 4th or 5th time that there's been the Howe out as. Like, his form's dipped, and people's been like, he's taking the club as far as we can. And then we turned it around. It was about this time last year we turned it around, wasn't it? Like, we're on a really, really bad run this time last year. Then we got on a bit of a run. I think we won like 12 games in a row or something, and then went on to win the cup in March.
10 games,
so yeah, things really, really turned on its head around about this time last year. So I think there is a case of prematurity. I think if you pull the plug now, you think, ooh, like, where do we go from here? Because I think for a lot of managers that are sacked, it's a case of losing the dressing room. I think a lot of managers like lose the complete trust in that players. The players just don't want to play for him. And I think once the manager loses trust in his players, that's game over. Like, there's not really a lot of coming back from that. But I think the players have full trust in him. I think the board has full trust in him. I think the players want to work for him. I don't think anyone's kind of had their head turned or think like, Eddie Howe isn't the best manager for Newcastle. I still fully believe that everyone's fully behind him at the club.
Yeah.
And for that, he doesn't deserve to be fired. So you think, alternatively, if you did sack him, where would we go from here? And then I think it could make the dressing room kind of divide. Like, if you sacked Eddie Howe, brought in anyone, say fucking Mourinho, just for argument's sake, whoever it is, like, would people want to work for him? And then some people came here to work with Eddie Howe. Those that did, or those that were loyal to him, their heads might be turned, and it might just complete like a complete like civil war within the dressing room. So I think Eddie Howe's kind of the glue keeping everyone together at the minute. So I think long term, it's the right thing to keep him for now. But in that same breath, he isn't really helping himself. Like, I get it now. Like I said, this is about the 4th or 5th time that a lot of the fan base, a big portion of the fan base, have been Howe out. And you know me, and I think you've been with me as well. We've never moved off of keeping Howe. Like, if you could visualize a chart, if it was like Howe out, how to stay with a fence in the middle. I think there's a lot of people that will probably be on the fence. Those that don't really know probably aren't really asked either way. For me, my back's been firmly against the wall of how to remain. I've never, ever shifted off of that. I've always been right in the camp of how staying, never budged. Yesterday, I probably took my first step towards the fence. Like, I'm still not near the fence. I'm still not anywhere near the fence. I'm still in the Howe in camp. But
You can see the fence now.
But I took my first step towards it yesterday, and I've never moved off of it since day one. But now I've took that step.
No, I'm the same. I'm still not there. And like I said, when I was bumping into people the day they were asking us, and I'm still the same. I still back Eddie Howe. But yesterday really tested us. Like yesterday was
inexcusable.
It was. That's the worst. That's the worst. It is inexcusable. And for a bloke that's been here for a few years, a bloke that's even played a derby and won 1-3-0. And yes, it was a bad Sunderland side. Yes, it was a different manager. But you felt like they just got what it meant that day. We were the ones that outfought them and everything. And all last week, you know, he was saying like, "Oh yeah, I get what it means. You know, I want to do this City proud and stuff." And you couldn't have went the opposite way in a derby then.
No,
got everything wrong. Everything wrong. Like yes, the players did let him down, but he did still set us up wrong. Subs were too late, as a lot of time they are. And I just think this season, because it isn't just this game for me, we have been crap all season.
Yeah, we have, especially away.
And we'll have, had injuries, and I continue to see this when the fullbacks come back, Tino and Hall, then we'll see a different team. And we beat Man City.
Yeah, City game was
we
great.
We went Everton 1-4-1, but then we're back to the inconsistency again. We'll go to like Marseille, blow a lead. We'll go to Leverkusen, blow a lead. Sunderland, pathetic. Other games in the mix there. Burnley got away with it with 10 men. They should equalise in the last minute. Spurs were conceding in the last minute. So the trend of not hanging on to wins, not hanging on to possession as well is really costing us. That's why we're giving the ball away late and the late goals. And we just haven't looked convincing. I mean, yes, I'm still saying Eddie Howe should stay, but it's funny because a few weeks ago when we beat Bilbao, I said that wasn't a good win though. Everyone's happy because we won. Of course,
a lot of wins this season.
The wins have
been
scrappy.
We've lost in some bad games away from home. We've been absolutely shocking all season long. I think Everton and is it Union SG? Are they what only away wins all year? I think. Might be wrong. Might be a couple of others, but they're the only two that I can really think of in all competitions. Two away wins. Shocking it for what we're a week and a half away from Christmas. Terrible, that absolutely terrible. But even like some of the home wins, like or any of the wins, most of them have been really scrappy. They've been like smash and grab and just like not great performances. Like sometimes like we've mentioned like earlier in the season, a good few weeks ago, we talked about an ugly win. And it was fine. Like when you need an ugly win, your win's a win, 3 points on the board. That's absolutely fine. But when your away form's shocking and some of your home performances aren't great, like you think something's got to give here because we're not really playing well anywhere. Yes, at home we might be getting the results, but that's maybe he's kind of papering over the cracks a little bit. Like I was thinking back to the Wolves game the other day. So, like, looking at Wolves now, like I say, we're about a week and a half away from Christmas, and they nearly got a point against Arsenal, although we're very unlucky against Arsenal. But being close to Christmas, they've got 2 points. 2 points in the Premier League close to Christmas. That's shocking, that. So when I look back to when we played them at home, it was like the 3rd or 4th game of the season. It was Valdemara's debut. Done all right to begin with. Valdemara got a good goal early on into his debut. He's a new shiny striker, new club record signing, so that was amazing. But especially in the second half, it was a shit game. And when you look back on it now, like that, yes, like it was early doors. You didn't know how bad Wolves were really going to be then. And like we knew that they were struggling at that time, but that was only 3-4 games into the season. Now you look back on it with them at 2 points and think, why were we so shit in that game? We should have smashed them at home. Like that one, like that was an ugly win. And then looking back on it, that shouldn't have been an ugly win. We should have absolutely battered them.
No, we should have. We should have battered a lot of teams, and I haven't seen apart from Man City and Everton, I haven't seen a good performance.
No.
Even Liverpool at the start of the season was alright, then we concede late on.
Barca were done all right.
But
Union SG, and that was about it.
But with week in, week out, and I think it will come back to haunt Eddie, like selection mistakes. Like, yes, they definitely will. But also transfer mistakes. Like, we used to stick up for him and say, oh, well, he hasn't had money to spend. We spent 250 million quid in the summer and we've got worse. Obviously, it was always going to be hard with losing Isaac and that state of play, but Valdemara's came in and, you know, we mentioned at the start of the show that like, with the Yalangas and Ramsey and stuff, like money on them. Like the goalkeeper situation hasn't been resolved yet. You just look at the way we've spent money and these things aren't working out. They really aren't. But for me, I'm not there yet, but if it continues like this, I will be like, I will, because the Icelandic Geordie with his super chat earlier was saying, it's football, and we've said it before. It's like you're only as good as your last game, which is true. And Eddie Howe said that in the past, even when he's been getting loads of praise for Champions League qualifications and winning the trophy. He said in press conferences himself, like, I know that I'm only a couple of games away from criticism again, and it's true. It is true. It's funny how football can work. Like you said, if we had got an own goal given to us from Sunderland yesterday and win the game 1-0, we go above them. We go like a few points off the top 4, top 5, and then everyone's
will be elated
again.
That is very true. Like with each game, depending on form, like it's quite fickle that it is like a one game at a time kind of thing. Like you're right. Like if we got that scrappy, like it was the exact same game, scrappy, awful, horrible, no quality, shit game. Dan Ballard scores no goal. We win the game. We're buzzing.
No.
We're sat here absolutely buzzing because we're ahead of them. We're back in European contention. How's amazing? Blah blah blah. Like I probably wouldn't go that far if it was still a shit game. But like I said, the difference is like we would have won the game, and that's all that it was. It was just Voldemara's unfortunate header. I was trying to defend it. Could have got a shout maybe from someone because I was near one behind him. Didn't need to do what he did. And that's what's cost her. Even a point would have been relatively acceptable. I think we both said it beforehand. Like the way they've been playing away with so much at stake,
and they were beaten at home.
And it's not something that you want to do. You're not going to say like, "Oh, I'll take a point," but like reluctantly you're thinking, "I'd take a point if I got off on one," because didn't really see much of a win there. But
I think the derby, if you can put up a fight away, and make sure you don't get beat, and then win. At home is the most important thing.
Yeah,
realistically, obviously you'd won 6 points, but realistically, that's a good outcome.
4's fine. Yeah, just
considering how the form table was looking now, how well they've done at home and how bad we've done away. Finish off on an Eddie Howe thing, and I want you to answer this in the comments because there is still people, saying you are deluded and all that for still batting Eddie Howe and all this. I want names as well. Then what you were saying?
Yeah,
I want names because it's easy to say Eddie Howe out, but literally who you getting because you put Mourinho out there. That would have been a great appointment 10 years ago.
Yeah, even
when the takeover happened, people were like, "Oh, should bring Mourinho in." Mourinho probably past it now. Pretty fair to say, to be honest. We've seen it recently, but even if you got him in, Mourinho's a short-term answer.
Oh yeah,
I would have maybe said Mourinho if we hadn't won a trophy because you'd be like
a 2 to 3 year cover.
Just give us a trophy because he is a good tournament manager.
Yeah.
And I think he would potentially do something, but now it's like we've seen it, man, with Benfica how bad they were when they came to Shearers Brew. They were crap. We weren't even good, but they were crap and we beat them comfortably. You look around the Premier League. I mean, look at the managers now, and let me get the table up. Obviously, Arteta at the top. I wouldn't even take Arteta. I think he's...
I'd hate Arteta.
He's nearly...
really hate Arteta.
He's nearly blown the league again. He was scraping walls the other day. Obviously, Pep Guardiola's not going to come. Emery's not going to come. He didn't come the first time. Maresca at Chelsea in 4th position. Wouldn't have him.
I wouldn't have him now.
Slot at Liverpool. Wouldn't have him. This is one that I would actually have. In 5th place, Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner.
Yeah.
That would be one that I would have.
Because he's young as well, like got like the rest of his career to go at. Like I want like a young manager who could be here for like 20 years. I want like the next Fergie. I want some longevity. Like someone put Simeone in the comments there. That's not realistic. Simeone's got a job for life there, and why would he come here? Like that's an unrealistic shout.
That would be my number one choice as well, Simeone.
If he would come,
but he
wouldn't come.
He's not likely to leave, is he?
So yeah, I'd love someone to be here for 10, 15, 20, 25 years and win everything with us, but that's going to have to be a young manager. You kind of get like a Mourinho who's whatever in his 60s or whatever now, like someone in their 40s, maybe early 50s, like that's a perfect appointment. In Glasner, he's young, already won 2 cups with Palace, who's never won a cup in that history. Never won silverware in their 100 and whatever it is year history. He's been there about 12 months and won 2.
He would be my, I guess, Simeone would be top, but like you say, it's probably unattainable. So realistic, I would try and get Glasner. I think his contract's out in the summer and all.
Even after selling people, like even after like Elise and Eze, like they're still doing well.
Really well.
Just keep getting new players in, or getting the next man up, and just playing really, really good football.
Yeah, they are. And like I see, you go down the list. You got Man United who are in 8th, might go higher tonight if they win.
Brighton's
You're not going to take Amram. It's mad. He's still there. Moisey at Everton.
You're not taking Ten Hag.
Brighton's manager. You're not taking Ten Hag. Thomas Frank gets sacked from Spurs. people are calling for Areola. He's currently got Bournemouth 15th below us. I know he is a good manager, but
He's an alright
I don't think
manager,
he's
yeah.
going to. Well, I do like Areola, to be fair, and it would be interesting
Just
to
think,
see him
how
at a
can
new
someone
club.
take it to the next level? Like in Ariola, yeah, he's a good manager, but is he going to do better than Howe? Is he going to push what on? Like Howe's won with a cup, 2 Champions League qualifications. Who's going to do better than that?
No, no.
We need someone who's going to like elevate with and not just kind of stagnate with. We need to be better. If you're going to sack Howe, you need someone who come in who's going to be better, and not just someone who's just going to level with and just do the exact same thing and get sacked in 4 years' time.
Let's see some names in the chat. And De Zerbi, who was obviously just beat us recently at Marseille. He's a bit of a lunatic, though, isn't he?
He is,
with Brighton, it was up and down on it. He was inconsistent with them, really. Xavi Alonso, he gets binned at Real Madrid there. So he's Evermore. I mean, he's flopping at Real Madrid with the.
I can say Ancelotti and Mancini too old. Like, kind of maybe he's not necessarily past it. To be fair, Mancini, I think he's just getting a mad European job. Can't remember where he is now, Mancini. I'm sure he's manager of
Qatar or something mad.
Somewhere, right? He was at Saudi Arabia.
I needed shite.
And he's left and gone to some other Raj country, I think.
Zidane, but he said numerous times he wouldn't come to the Prem. But yeah, names like Mancini, Ancelotti, people are calling for Rafa Benitez. Like,
it's not 2012.
These managers have been out nowhere near the best for years. I know Ancelotti might not work out from Brazil. You could bring him in. I seen some the day. I was talking to a mate of mine. Big up Davey, I'm sure he's watching. He was saying, let's just do a straight swap with England. When Tuchel doesn't win the World Cup next year, we'll get Tuchel and England can have Howe.
Yeah. Well,
that wouldn't be too bad, to be honest.
They want Snoozegate.
That would be awful.
Snoozegate's not.
That would be awful. Snoozegate. That would be, nah. A worst English manager. Hertzler as well as a shout there. I would honestly, if I could, Eden Terzic, not bad. Klopp. I don't think Klopp's going to come to another Premier League team or at all ever again.
Would he take Klopp?
Nah. Can't stand him.
He's a bit of a cock, isn't
he? Yeah. He would never, ever come to another Premier League team again either. He had to retire just to chill out, didn't he? So
the stress of managing Liverpool was enough for him.
Try and manage Newcastle, like, Nagelsmann.
Shout Conte.
Didn't work out with Spurs, did it? Where even is Conte now? Has he even got a job?
He was in is Napoli, isn't he?
Was he?
Napoli, isn't he?
I'm not too sure about that. Like, honestly, I would, if I could choose, I'm still Eddie Howe in for now, at least.
I think he needs to till the end of the season. See how we'll finish off. There's no point putting that unrest in now.
No. And then if you couldn't get Diego Simeone, which you probably couldn't, I would go for Glasner.
So I think there's more chance of getting a manager like at the end of the season as well. Like a lot of managers won't want to jump ship like midway through the season.
No,
so that's going to be the hardest part as well. Like not trying to be funny or argumentative with people in the comments, but who realistically could we get? Like those that are either not in a job. Let's face it, there's not very good managers who are free agents at the minute. So you'd have to buy someone out of that contract, but who would want to come? Who are we paying out of their contract? And they'll be happy to say, oh yeah, I'll leave X team and go to Newcastle. Right now, close to Christmas, I just don't really think there's many. That's why I think we're just better off holding on until the end of the season. At least that gives Eddie Howe a few more months to turn things around, which I think he will. I think he will turn things around, and the Howe Outlaws will be back on side again, like a fucking game of table tennis. And then like things could be all hunky dory by the summer. Give him another window, see what happens moving forward. But if it doesn't work out, if we fail to qualify for Europe, but we don't win a cup, think right, maybe we'll have taken him as far as we can go, get him out, and then the summer's the perfect chance to lift someone out of a team who isn't kind of in the middle of a season, kind of working towards a project, either like a cup or Europe or whatever it is. Like I think a lot of managers are quite happy in the position that they're in right now. So it just doesn't make sense right now for me. No, it doesn't. I was getting mixed up with I thought Conte had left and then went Inter, but it was the other way around. When it was the old Napoli manager, went Inter, and then he had a Napoli tattoo. Oh, right.
The Baldi fella. So that's what I was getting mixed up with. But Conte
was at Inter, wasn't he?
But
he was at Inter now.
Exactly. But Conte is still at Inter. Bloody hell. Conte is still at Napoli after winning the league with them last year, is right there. And so I will bring Conte in, bring McTominay in, bring them all in, bring them all into the tune. Not a bad shout, I suppose, since he has just won Serie A. He does still get a lot of credit, to be fair. But whether he is late or not, and a lot of people don't, Eddie Howe isn't going anywhere. I'll tell you that right now. The reports today
Not
are saying
anytime
that
soon, anyway.
he's got the backing of the owners, and yeah, from what I'm hearing as well, he's not under pressure at all.
Steve McLaren's free again.
Oh, bring in Big
He's
Steven.
left the Reggae Boys.
Aye, Reggae. That was one of the best stickers I've seen in Germany, by the way. The day after the Leverkusen game in Cologne, went to the toilet in this random tiny German bar, and there was a sticker on the toilet, on the tiles above the urinal, with Steve Bruce in the Cool Runnings. Steve Bruce is part of the bobsleigh team in the Cool Runnings movie, because obviously when he was managing Jamaica, and I was like,
Steve McLaren.
Didn't expect to see that, and no, Steve Bruce. Just for the crack, that didn't make any sense. It was like, he got the wrong Steve. Brilliant, man. Brucey's going to get a job soon, man. Brucey will take out the Rasta boys. But anyways, what did Bruno Guimaraes, our captain, have to say on the derby? Well, last night, straight after the game, he said he was very angry, embarrassed, frustrated. There was nothing in the game. It was a mess, in my opinion. We knew we were a better team than Sunderland, but we didn't play like the better team. Consistency isn't there. Mentality isn't there. We didn't compete. The fans expect and deserve more. You need to compete in a derby, and we didn't. We only have one way to go from here, and that's winning in a few days. He also then put out a story on Instagram today saying that he reflected a lot on what happened yesterday, and he sincerely apologizes to our fans, not only because of the result, but because of the way everything unfolded. We have to set things right, but that won't be able to happen until March. Obviously, when we'll have the home fixture against the Mackhams. But with the schedule we have, there's no time to waste. On Wednesday, we already have another very important match that could put us in our third semi-final in 4 years. We still have many games ahead of us, and we will go through every situation if we stay united. There's no time to blame anyone. The team's greatest quality is working with the 11 as if they were one. Away the lads. Good message, isn't it? But I would love some talk on the pitch and all, though.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, like talk only gets you so far, but I think he's doing right as the club captain. Like, obviously came out yesterday in his post game press conference, and that one just came out this afternoon about 4 hours ago on his Instagram story there. So yeah, he's taking like responsibility, and he's like speaking on behalf of the club, which is what I think a good captain should do. I think a captain that goes quiet isn't a good look. Yeah, it doesn't really kind of tell you that he's really behind the team or the best leader for the team. So at least like he's speaking out, whether you believe the words that he's saying or whatever, if you just think it's kind of small talk, just trying to get the fans back on side, that's up to everyone's own personal opinions. But I think he's wrong to say that we were the better team. Like on paper,
that's what he meant.
Depending on, I was going to say if that's what he meant. On paper, we are by far the better team, and that isn't even up for debate.
That's what we were saying in the pub before the game yesterday with John Gibson. You know, Gibbo, the legend that he is, he was like, "Oh, we're better, man. We've got better players. We should beat them." He's right, but unfortunately, that's not how football works.
And I think throughout the season, this Premier League season, and the game that we saw yesterday, we aren't the better team.
No, it's nothing's pointing us being the better team.
No, yeah, like we should be miles ahead of them.
The quality we've got, man,
not even debatable.
Again, when I did the combined 11 on Saturday Social on Sky Sports on Saturday morning, he managed to get 4 Sunderland players into the 11, and again, I still wouldn't take those Sunderland players.
That's centre back, right back.
No, exactly. Maybe the keeper, to be fair at this point, but not how we tested him. I said I'd
probably
maybe
is the
give you
one.
the keeper, and I'd maybe give you a Shaka at the minute with how bad your Joe Lintons and that been playing. But Miley on his, I'd still have Miley, Bruno, and Tonali as midfield. So Shaka's still not getting in there. And going forward, maybe the keeper, and that was it.
Now the left winger playing number 10 as well.
Aye,
Enzo Lefebvre. He's not really a winger. He's more of a 10.
So our quality, the internationals we've got, the players we've got, man. Not lay a glove on them yesterday. It's starting to get us pissed off again.
It is just that frustrating, though, isn't it? Like, yeah, because like I said, we should be by far the better team. It's not even up for debate. Sunderland fans will know this. The realistic ones, like obviously, like a lot of them, even in comments during the week on like Sport Bible and what have you, I've seen Sunderland fans going, like they'd have maybe like 7 players or something. I'm like, mate, I'm not even being funny. I don't even know who these players are.
No.
The majority of their names, obviously Grant Xhaka, who's played in the Premier League since 1998. Like, I don't know them. I know like Lefebvre was on loan to them last year and done alright. I know that people have been banging on about Roofs, apart from those that have been there for a while, like Luke O'Nien and Trey Hume, Wilson Isidore. I'll say that. I don't know who any of them are.
No, that Ronaldo who's
Dan Ballard.
he was there.
Couldn't tell you who any of them are.
But yeah, it's a good strong message from Bruno. Like on one hand, I like it, but on one hand, it's just starting to annoy us now. How often the players come out, and yesterday Gordon was coming out saying, "Oh, it wasn't good enough today. We'll put it right on Wednesday." Like, nah, man. Aye, it's like, but no, like,
actions speak louder than words. At this
was
point,
a derby.
do it. Yeah.
Aye, how easy is it to go back to the mansion, put your feet up, and put a little picture of yourself, and aye, shit the day. Sorry, lads. Next time. Like, man. Like, I'm getting bored of that. Like,
Jeeves, bring the champagne.
So start showing it instead of talking it. You know what I mean? You need to start showing it. And well, will we show it on Wednesday, Kegan? To be fair, I was speaking to a lot of people the day in the rehearsals and stuff, and we were saying, like, you know, it is, we can win 4-0 against Fulham, get through to a semi-final, and it still doesn't make us forgive them for the derby application. It really doesn't, which is a mad thing to say. And Bruno's highlighted it there. What, third semi-final did he say in 4 years?
4 years,
Like, that's class.
This is what Eddie Howe's done for us.
Aye, but like, it's hard when it's that bad this season in many games. Not just the derby more so because of how much it means, but in a lot of games this season, we're just not being ourselves. And the thing we fell in love with Eddie Howe and the team that he's had over the last few years is the whole intensity is our identity. And we haven't shown that at all. We're completely lost that now.
We really haven't been very intense this season.
The
pressing and stuff. Like I think I've seen it a couple of times this season. I can't remember. We played one game. I think it might have been
seen it in Leverkusen. Voldemort finally had a tiny bit of pace to win a pen.
Yeah,
to press. But you've hardly seen pressing. No, we've had Man City was the only one I can remember.
Yeah, that is his identity. That's what makes a Eddie Howe Newcastle team tough to play against. High press, closing you right in, didn't give you any time on the ball. Yeah, this season, like obviously there has been a lot of change, but like I say, we're nearly at Christmas now. Like it cannot really take this long.
No,
like obviously Voldemort has had to replace Isak. I think Isak fit the system well. Like he pressed high, had a lot of energy. Voldemort is not as quick. Alanga, who is lightning quick, just doesn't really press as much. Just not seeing it really from anyone. Obviously, I know like Wissa's just come back. I haven't really get to see much of him yet. But yeah, there's just something about this team at the minute. Like it just hasn't got like the energy that it has in the previous years.
It hasn't got that DNA, has it?
Yeah, it's just getting a bit boring.
Well, who won't be featuring on Wednesday night against Fulham or for the next 6 weeks potentially is Big Dan Burn, who obviously went off yesterday injured. He does face up to 6 weeks on the sidelines now after suffering a punctured lung and a broken rib in the defeat to the Mackhams. And I have to say, it's an absolute disgrace that he was allowed to play on. How on earth was he allowed to be sent back onto the pitch by the medical team? I do not know. You could see he wasn't couldn't even breathe, man.
I said he's got a cracked rib, man.
Aye, you did. Aye, you could see he's like, the picture I'm showing you now that I put on my social media. He's still on the pitch, and he's
holding his rib. He can't breathe.
Holding his rib. Like, he was trying to run. He was like,
you didn't need to be a doctor to see he's got at least a cracked rib, if not worse.
How are you letting him play on, man? It's like the stuff that's happened in the past. You know, when players have played on Botman and stuff, and then he had the other injury. Remember when he played on, he was on bloody one leg. Like, how he's got to be taken
for like
off.
3 months with an ACL.
Like, what on earth? So that's a blow. Newcastle now only currently have 4 fit senior centre backs.
How long's Botman going to be for?
Exactly. Just forever, innit? You know what I mean? What time we yesterday when we're like,
Many will get.
Honestly, the amount he comes back. You think, he's back, he's best. There he is, and then there he is.
You get a few good weeks out of him
for a few months again. Like, obviously, still out is Trippier, Botman, Kraft, Isula. Don't know about Nick Pope yet. Lascelles is unavailable. Would say which no one's quite sure about. Harrison Ashby apparently injured. I'm listing these players because we're running out of options. Lascelles and Ashby,
Where is Harrison Ashby?
He
was a waste of a signing.
He was at QPR last year, I think.
I think he did alright.
He did alright, aye. And then, no idea. Now he's just slicking his hair back and having a good time, I think. I just never seen him playing football. Get tattoos.
He's
got lovely tattoos.
Lovely tattoos.
Aye, just haven't seen him play football, so... Yeah, we'll have it. May as well go on bloody Only Way Essex or something. You know what I mean?
He'll be on Love Island next year. No one would even notice.
No one would even know. Oh, Harrison, age 23 from. Dear me, that's where we're at the minute. Fulham people let me know what you're thinking ahead of that semi-final. Well, hopefully it'll be a semi-final. It's the quarters on Wednesday, 8:15 kickoff. The Toon trying to defend their trophy. It's on ITV1 and Sky. But it is a horrible kickoff time, isn't it?
8:15.
Stinks that, like.
Why?
It wasn't
That's horrible.
Oh, I know.
I feel I'm quite surprised this isn't an away tie for us. Typically, this would be an away tie, but like for Fulham fans coming all the way up here from London for
Get tasty old
8:15 kickoff, they'll not be leaving, like not be down from level 7. It'll be midnight. Sorry about that.
Bring back the old 7:45s.
All right.
We don't need 7:30s. We don't need 8:15s. 7:45. So, yeah. The other Carabao Cup ties, there's one tomorrow, Cardiff Chelsea. Wednesday night is Man City, Brentford, and us and Fulham. And the following Tuesday, the 23rd of December, Christmas Eve, is Arsenal v Palace. There still isn't any details on when the draw is for the semi-final, which is quite strange. Surely that'll be following the Tuesday game, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
But maybe because it's so close to Christmas, who knows? It's strange how they haven't announced that yet. Fulham side keg that are lingering in the usual mid-table to relegation spots. People earlier were calling for Marco Silva. He has been linked with big jobs in the past. They're having a poorer season than usual, to be fair. They did win 3-2 against Burnley on Saturday night. They have had home victories over Bristol City and Cambridge, following a penalty shootout win over Wycombe Wanderers. Why couldn't it have been Wycombe? And to be fair, they'd probably fucking beat with.
I know.
They'd probably bloody beat with.
At least it's home.
At least it's at home. What we're seeing then for this one, are we going to see another semi-final?
I think we will. Like, I am quite confident in this one. Like, I think for a few reasons. A, we're at home. B, Fulham haven't really been great. C, it's a cup, and I think Eddie Howe will be hungry for it. And D, we're needing big, massive firework up our arsehole.
It's already been and gone.
Just need a really big kick off of that horrible game. So that's 4 reasons why we've got to win this game.
Yeah.
At least. I'm probably thinking for some more.
We just need a reaction, which I'm totally confident we'll get. I think we'll win 3-0.
I think it'll be quite comfortable.
I think we'll win.
So we played them at home earlier in the season, didn't we?
Aye.
Yeah, well,
that was Bruno's late win, wasn't it? Bruno's late win. Terrible game. I think you will see a reaction. It'll be interesting to see what the team is with these injuries, these knocks, people out of form. I think Murphy will come in and score. I think we'll win 3-0. I think we'll win 3-0. I think Wissam may get his first goal, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 3-0. Like, I'm quite confident that'll be a comfortable win.
That'll
actually 3-1 because we'll concede later on.
That's true, aye. That's very true.
8-8. We'll have conceded later on for no reason.
Aye, absolutely no reason. Just fucking Ramsey will put it into the net anyway. Shout out the super chat here from Cynical Jim and member. Scum put visitors on scoreboard, which is disrespectful. Seen that one, aye.
I was thinking, did they not normally do that, or was it just because of us?
Or not? Because they had the badge when we beat them 3-0, so I don't know if they changed it for that.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was like I've seen that and I didn't know. Like, is that a thing? Because I think some teams do that. They just put visitors instead of.
It used to be proper old school. That didn't have visitors. I'm not sure if they do that every week.
Yeah, I don't watch Sunderland enough to
but
know.
Definitely, obviously, I think
I'll be looking out for it now.
Of all the pictures we had last time of us 3-0, the scoreboard and stuff, I think that's why they've changed it maybe as well.
Maybe it's yeah. But
obviously they got their
keep an eye on that one.
They got their photo in front of the fans, didn't they? Like we
did. They did.
Hadn't been planning that one, any had they?
No, of course not.
There's a Spark playing 4-3-3, but all I see home and away is 4-5-1. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing Eddie Howe gets criticised for as well, isn't it? You know, the lack of change, the lack of formation adaptation, or like game plans. He does normally stick to that or do the 4-5-1. And sometimes you think, you know, the wing-back system would suit Newcastle with the pace of Tino and Hall. But then when we seem to play that, we're kind of too defensive with it. So, yeah, 4-3-3 is the one it'll be on Wednesday, I'm sure. And then Saturday, Keg, we've got Chelsea at home for a lunchtime kick. Another crap kick-off time. 8:15 on Wednesday, 12:30 on Saturday. Chelsea in the tune for the TNT lunchtime spot. This will be the last home game before Christmas.
What was saying?
We normally do well against Chelsea, don't we?
We do, especially at home. Away, it's terrible. If it was away, I'd fancy a loss.
Stamford Bridge is stinky for us.
Yeah, we've got a terrible record at Stamford Bridge, and given our recent away form, that's got a loss written all over it. But at home, we have got a really good record against Chelsea in recent years. So, our home form isn't too bad either. I don't know. I think, like, obviously, there's got to be a lot kind of between now and then. Obviously, Fulham.
We need to see
with the team, with the injuries, how we're going to adapt. Hopefully, we don't get any more. We need to know the lengths of some injuries and how quickly some people can be back, like Botmans, Popes, people like that. I'll hopefully get a few more minutes in the legs of Wissar and hopefully get him closer to getting some more minutes done.
That could be one positive, couldn't it?
Yes, I really couldn't tell you about the Chelsea game. Like, I think because I'm always confident at home, I'll give a 1-0 win, but I'll take a draw with that one.
Chelsea are a bit hit and miss as
they
well.
Are really hit and miss. Yeah.
They were having a really good spell, and then like Sunderland beat them away. They've lost to a couple of the promoted teams. But just looking at last year, I think we got the 2-0 win. Was it 2-0? Where was it Jackson that got sent off for them?
Was it 2-1? Because it was a bit squeaky bum time towards the end. Oh, was it 2? I think it was 2-0, because they were pushing for an equaliser. Yeah, you're right. So we were 1-0 up, and they were pushing for an equaliser, and it was getting really, really squeaky. And then Bruno scored a curler from the edge of the box to kill the game later on.
Oh, that was a great goal, wasn't it?
Was,
to be fair. But a good record at St. James Park against Chelsea for the whole. It is going to be tricky to predict before Wednesday night. We need to see how we get on there. I'll say there will be another reaction. I think we'll win that one 2-1.
I'll go with a 1-goal win.
I'm trying to think who we've got after that, because obviously then you've got
it'll be Man
United. The only game on Boxing Day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
The only game on Boxing Day.
They've been in pretty good form.
They're playing in an hour against Bournemouth. There we'll have it then, people. That'll do for this week's episode following the Derby Day defeat. Hopefully we'll come back next week and it is a good week. We can celebrate a couple of wins on Monday and hopefully things will be looking better. But a lot of people in the comments there unhappy with Eddie Howe. Let me know if you're watching back on this one, your feelings below. Cheers to Anarchy Brewery for hosting us as per usual. You can get some Shearers Foundation Brew gift sets just in time for Christmas if you fancy that. The link is in the description, and 50p from every can does go towards the Alan Shearer Foundation. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy yourself.